is filled with all kinds of museums. Art museums, like the Louvre in Paris, natural history museums, like the British Museum in London, biographical museums, like the Anne Frank House in Amsterdam, science and engineering museums, like the Atomium in Brussels. And believe it or not, there are even museums dedicated to chocolate. Cologne Germany has one of them, the Imhoff Chocolate Museum. It takes you on a fascinating journey through the 5,000-year history of chocolate. In addition to lots of interactive exhibits, the museum has a tropical greenhouse crowded with all kinds of living plants. Chocolate comes from the giant pods that grow on the trunk of the tree, theobroma, cacao. In ancient Greek, theobroma means food of the gods. Inside the cacao pods are seeds, though they're usually called beans. These are what are used to make chocolate. Let's stop for a second, because I want to explain something that confuses a lot of people. Although often used interchangeably, cacao and cocoa don't exactly mean the same thing. Typically, raw beans are called cacao. Once the beans are processed, starting with roasting, they are usually then called cocoa beans, or just cocoa. Of course, when most of us hear the word cocoa, we think of hot chocolate. But cocoa is also used to describe the essential ingredient all chocolates are made from. That's just one of the interesting facts you'll learn as you wander through the museum's many exhibits. The ancient Mayans and Aztecs used chocolate in their religious rituals, and even as money. Chocolate is naturally bitter, so they would add spices to improve the taste. Returning from his last voyage to the New World, Columbus brought an early form of chocolate to Spain. But the bitter taste didn't become popular, not until someone thought to add sugar. Almost overnight, chocolate, usually as a drink, became all the rage in Europe. The aristocracy would pour their dark and delightful liquid from shiny silver containers. Originally, cacao trees only grew in Mesoamerica, the area encompassing Mexico down to the top of South America. Today, most cacao comes from Africa. Huge ships filled with chocolate beans sail to ports around the world. Cranes scoop up the beans and load them into the trucks that deliver them to factories. Turning the bitter beans into a sweet treat is a pretty interesting process. And it's a process you can experience firsthand in the museum's miniature Lindt chocolate factory. Windows and videos let you see what goes on inside the machines as they roast, crush, and grind. The beans are then melted into a liquid, which is squirted into rectangular molds. As the molds move down the conveyor belt, they're shaken to evenly spread out the chocolate. This machine wraps and packages the bars. Best of all, you can get a real taste of how chocolate is created. That's why visitors are lined up. Hit the red button, and out comes a newly made piece. There's also a big fountain of milk chocolate that workers dip wafers into and hand out to visitors. You can watch the master chocolatiers create all kinds of confections. These almost look too good to eat.
Cool, that's really cool.
By the way, white chocolate isn't really chocolate. While it does contain cocoa butter, purists don't consider it real chocolate because it doesn't contain cocoa solids. Guess it's a matter of taste. For Teen Kids News, I'm Ava.
There's something else that the city of Cologne is famous for. It's not something that you eat, rather it's something that you smell. It started with this guy. In 1709, he concocted a fragrance that reminded him of mountain daffodils and orange blossoms after the rain. Though born in Italy, he had moved to Cologne and become a citizen. He was so proud of that he wanted to honor his new hometown. So he named his fragrance Eau de Cologne. That's French for water of Cologne. Though originally sold to women as a perfume, today we call any fragrance for men cologne.